Hi, I'm Jeff Weisenberger. I'm the editor-in-chief of Modern Steel Construction, AISC's monthly magazine, and I'm here at NASCC, the Steel Conference in Denver, with Grady Harvell. And Grady is one of this year's AISC Lifetime Achievement Award winners. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And just a quick note on Lifetime Achievement Awards. They honor living individuals who have made a significant contribution or difference in the success of AISC and the steel industry at large. So Grady is the president and COO of WNW AFCO Steel, and his award recognizes his drive for funding research to make steel bridges more economical, his commitment to steel bridge education and research, as well as his contributions to the National Steel Bridge Alliance, NSBA. Thank you for taking some time right now, Grady. We're talking about a Lifetime Achievement Award, so I want to know a little bit about your lifetime in the steel industry. So start from the beginning. How did you get into the steel business?
I had a structures professor who introduced me to Harold Engstrom, who was involved with the students at the University of Arkansas during my senior year. And Mr. Engstrom asked did I interview with AFCO Steel when I graduated from college, and I did. I accepted the job, and I've been there 50 years since then.
Okay, yeah, that is definitely a lifetime in the industry.
Yeah.
That's excellent. And did you start? You started with structures?
I started with
structures.
I was hired as a design engineer. I have a degree in structures, a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering with a specialty in structures. So I started actually my first 2 years doing nothing but design work on steel buildings.
Okay, so how did you move on into bridges?
I got introduced into Mr. Engstrom asked me to start helping our bridge sales team in 1976, and asked me to just be a part of a sales team.
Okay.
And so I started selling bridges and got involved in the sales and estimating of the bridges and the fabrication. We did both buildings and bridges. Okay. And been there ever since.
All right. Well, speaking of bridges, do you have a favorite steel bridge out there?
Obviously, it'd be the Stanspan, which is in St. Louis, Cable State Bridge, which we did back in 2010 through 11 in that neighborhood, and then the Paseo Bridge over on the other side of the state of Missouri. We have a bridge on both sides of the state of Missouri that we did. They're iconic structures and very pretty structures. Okay,
well, that's excellent. Yeah, no, it's nice when a bridge can be iconic like that.
Right.
So getting into your interest in students and your drive for education, if you're talking to somebody, a student in college who's thinking about a career in steel bridge design or fabrication, even, I mean, are there some certain things that they should keep in mind, or is there a top 3 list? Here's what you got to think about.
Well, the number one would don't lose sight of standing back and looking at your work after you do the design. Do an overview of it. Engineers get so lost in the details and the minutia that sometimes we forget to step back and look to see if it makes sense. Right. And just look at things from a bigger view and try to make sure that it's rational what you're designing. Okay. Be the best advice I could give them.
Okay, well, very good. Switching gears a little bit, can you talk about some of your work or involvement with NSBA?
Well, I was on the NSBA committee for several years and involved, pushing, promoting, I should say, weathering steel. We're really big on promoting weathering steel. We also looked at the shear studs on steel bridges, and we've been very instrumental in trying to work with the University of Arkansas and Dr. Prince and doing stud research to try to reduce the number of steel studs that are required in composite action. And so far, I think we've been successful in accomplishing that. And it makes its way into the code, and I think it has been approved to be in the code. So that makes steel bridges more economical for everyone in the country. It saves everyone money.
Okay. Oh, very good. And speaking of steel bridge research, I understand you have a lab named after yourself at your alma mater, the University of Arkansas.
That's correct.
Can you talk a little bit about your involvement in that, how that project got off the ground, so to speak?
We set it as a goal in 1999 to build a structures lab at the University of Arkansas Civil Engineering Department because they needed that. In my view, students, we learn the technical aspects, but a lot of times we don't have the feel for the structure. And a lab gives you the opportunity to actually see and feel and watch structures as they fail and how they react when they're put under stresses and loads. And I think it's a very important part of a student's education and engineering degree to actually physically work in the lab and to see the structures as they interact with the forces that are applied to them. And, so I was very, I love Arkansas, love University of Arkansas, and I thought that we had to have that to stay competitive in our university, and we were able to, with a lot of people helping, we were able to get it accomplished.
Sure. And remind me, when did that open again?
It opened July of last year.
Okay. Oh,
July,
that's excellent. So it's actually
2021, right?
pretty new.
Brand new, yeah.
Do you mind if I ask? Do you know what the first like one of the first experiments in there?
One of the first research, Dr. Prince is working on a project for AISC on the reduced beam section, doing it at a SKU. He's an award winner, so he's actually doing research for AISC. One of the first projects that was done at the new lab was for AISC.
Okay, well, that's great to hear. Thank you. And back to AISC, how many NASCCs have you been to? How many steel conferences?
You lose track of those.
Sure.
I don't go to all of them. I'll go to one every 2, 3, 4, 5 years, depending on how busy I am at the time, what all is going on. But I do insist that our engineering department and our operations people have people attend to keep up with the technology and the research and the innovations in the steel industry, especially equipment. Equipment changes constantly, and you have to stay up to speed on what's going on to stay competitive in the industry.
Right, very good. I have a question now. So another one about going back to Arkansas. So you live in Little Rock now, is that correct?
That's correct.
Is there a little known fact about Little Rock? If you were going to tell people who've never been there before, what's one thing you would tell them about Little Rock?
It's probably the best kept secret in the country of nice places to live.
Okay. Oh shoot, we shouldn't have said that then. It's not a secret anymore.
People ignore that advice anyways.
They
That's
show
even
up
better
anyway?
part.
Okay, there you go.
Can I end with one thing?
Oh, of course.
I'd like
absolutely.
to thank all my coworkers, all the people at WWFCO that I've worked with for the last 50 years. They're why I am where I am. Without their support, I wouldn't have achieved near what I've been able to accomplish. I want to thank them.
Very good. Yes. Thank you again, and once again, congratulations. Thanks, Grady.